Guys, how are we doing? Ari here, your fat loss coach, coming to you today. In this video, we're going to discuss your total daily energy expenditure and what exactly that means, okay? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ari. I'm the founder of the Fat Loss Manifesto. I'm a fat loss coach, and I help people get unstuck when you've tried to lose body fat and nothing is happening, and also help beginners get set out on the right path to begin with. So in today's video, as I said, we're going to be discussing your total daily energy expenditure. And what that means is where does all your food go, and how much energy, what portion of that food goes to different parts of your body. So as you can see behind me here on the board, I have drawn up a percentage graph showing your total daily energy expenditure. Going from 100%, so your 100% is really the amount of calories that your body requires every day. So for some people it's 2,000 calories, for some it's 3,000. Mine personally is 3,300, somewhere in there. So your 100% is what you use once you've worked out your total daily energy expenditure. There are plenty of online calculators to help you do that. Now, this is the total daily. This is what you should be eating to maintain your weight. That is to neither lose weight or gain weight. Okay, so it's your balance level is your total daily energy expenditure. It's not your dieting calories. I just want to stress that. So when we look at our graph here or our chart, I don't know, what is it, percentage thing? I don't know, whatever it is. So we've got 0% of your calories up until 70% of your calories go towards something called your REE or your BEE. So your REE is your resting energy expenditure. Now, what does that mean? That is you basically staying alive. That 70% of all your energy goes towards your brain, your liver, your organs functioning, all the daily activities that have to happen in order to keep you alive. If you didn't move, if you weren't doing anything, if you weren't eating or moving or doing anything at all, you need 70% of all the food that you eat, which I know I just said if you weren't eating, but you know what I mean. So 70% of all energy incoming goes towards simply keeping you alive, and that's a big chunk of fuel. So if you've got someone who's on a 2,000 calorie diet, or their TDEE is 2,000 calories, we're looking at 1,400 calories being burnt up just doing nothing. We then have our NEAT, our NEAT. Now, this is our non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That is calories being burnt just by moving, okay? Just by being alive, just by walking around your home, walking to the train, walking to the bus, walking around the office, not exercising, okay? So this is just your daily activities of living, or ADLs, your activities of daily living. That's called your NEAT. Now that makes up for about 15% of all calories. So if we go from your REE, your resting energy expenditure, and we add your NEAT in, that's 85% of everything you eat, guys. So it's quite a big chunk. From the 85% mark up until about the 95% mark, with another 10%, is your TEF. That is the thermic effect of feeding. Now, when you eat food, your body has to work to break down and digest that food, okay? So you burn calories just simply breaking down and digesting food. The most calorie inefficient food that you can eat, the one that causes you to burn the most fuel, the macronutrient is protein. So when you eat a diet high in protein, you will actually have a very, very a large increase in your TEF. So proteins actually increase your metabolic rate up to about 30% for 4 hours following that meal. So high protein diets do work very, very well because they increase your TEF, your thermic effect of feeding. Last but not least, for the last, I would even dare say 7% up to 10%. I know we've already said we're at 95%, but is your exercise activity thermogenesis, so the amount of calories you burn while exercising. Now, all in all, that's not a lot. Okay, we believe that we're going to be burning up all these extra calories when we're in the gym or when we're out training, but we don't really burn that much more fuel above what we're already burning just staying alive. Okay, what your eat does do. Now don't mix this up with your thermic effect of feeding. Eat isn't. It does not mean eating. It's your exercise activity thermogenesis. What your eat does is it boosts your metabolic rate enough, it creates muscle, and it keeps your metabolic rate burning at a slightly higher level for the 24 hours of your day. This is very important because it prevents metabolic slowdown. So when you're dieting, when you decide to cut calories from your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, which is your baseline, which is your balanced calories, when you decide to go on a diet, and you knock off 20% of your calories, your exercise is going to keep driving your metabolic rate up to make sure your metabolism doesn't slow down. So I'm just going to recap this quickly because we're going to move on to something else. Up to 70% of everything you eat goes towards your resting energy expenditure or your basal energy expenditure, or your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. It's got several different names. So that is keeping you alive. That's your brain function, your liver function. These are really great things to look up, everyone, because your brain burns about 27% of all calories. Your liver burns about 30%. Your muscles don't really burn that much when they're inactive. Your digestive function burns up quite a bit of fuel. So your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, or your resting energy expenditure is quite high because of that. Your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, your activities of daily living, cleaning the house, mowing the lawns, just staying alive, getting to and from work. This is quite a good chunk of energy. It's about 15% of everything you eat. And we're going to discuss this in a second. Thermic effect of feeding goes up and down depending on your diet. If you've got a very low animal protein diet, the thermic effect of feeding is probably around about the 10% mark or lower than that. If you've got a high animal protein diet, the thermic effect of feeding goes up, which means you burn more calories because it's harder to digest proteins and your body has to work harder, okay? Your eat, not to be confused with your TEF, your eat, your energy, your exercise activity thermogenesis is the amount of fuel that you burn, or the calories that you burn exercising. It is not actually that much, but it does serve to keep your metabolic rate up and burn energy throughout the day and prevent you from metabolic slowdown. Now, I want to talk to you about NEAT. This is one of the big factors here. So whenever you go on a diet and you start exercising and you are eating below your total daily energy expenditure, this is what your body needs to neither gain weight or lose weight. When you eat below that, your brain is going to become aware of that, and it's going to reduce your metabolic rate. It's going to lower the amount of fuel that you spend, or it's going to prevent you from spending fuel in order to maintain that balance, because your brain really doesn't want you to lose body fat, okay? Body fat is there to help you survive in times of starvation. That's how your brain views it. So, we want to lose body fat, we want to be lean. Our brain starts panicking and starts saying, oh, I don't really want that to go, it's my reserve fuel. So what our brain is going to do, it's going to maintain your resting energy expenditure. It's going to help, all the food's still going to go to the brain. It's going to go to the organs and keep you running and keeping everything functioning, because this is number one priority. The thermic effect of feeding, it's going to happen because you do need to eat. Now, you might be exercising because you've got a program and you know you've got to get to the gym and you've got to train. What your brain is very good at doing, guys, is demolishing your NEAT. So without you realizing, your brain will say to you, you know what, why don't you drive to the train station today? You're feeling a bit tired. Why don't you sit down at work during your lunch break? Don't get up. instead of cooking something, why don't we just order food and have it delivered? Your brain starts becoming very, very smart at getting rid of your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Okay, so where you would have cleaned the house, mowed the lawns, gone for a walk, gone and met up with friends, your brain is going to cut back on spending here. This is like a government budget cut, guys. Your brain is going to cut back on spending fuel here without you realizing it. So this is where step trackers come in. This is where your 10,000 steps a day and your 12,000 steps a day or 14,000 steps a day, depending on what phase of the program you are at. This is why we do the 10,000 steps a day, to make sure that when we've cut calories, our brain doesn't do a budget cut and try to save money and get us back into a calorie surplus. So we want to make sure that our, oh, I've scratched that up there, our non-exercise activity thermogenesis is taken care of, because at some point we can burn a lot more fuel than our exercise activity thermogenesis. We need to maintain both of these. If you don't maintain the exercise activity thermogenesis and the non-exercise activity thermogenesis, your brain will find a way to save on those calories that you have been dieting so hard. Okay, you've cut calories out of your diet, you're trying to lose body fat, your brain's going to basically derail the whole process. And one of the main issues here is this is one of the reasons why people don't lose body fat. You know, they are training and dieting and putting all the effort in, but they're not aware that the brain is working against them to save fuel. Guys, that's it for today. So please make sure you maintain your 10,000 steps a day or your 12,000 steps a day. Get one of these bad boys. This cost me about, all in all, about 20 bucks. Or get a Fitbit, or get one of the more expensive. This is a cheapo, it does the job. Once again, just to recap, your total daily energy expenditure is everything you need to stay alive and function throughout the day with neither gaining weight or losing weight. It's your maintenance calories. This is what makes up your calories throughout the day. And when we diet, we drop calories down, but we want to maintain the expenditure. Okay, so if someone was on 2,000 calories, let's go ahead with this, and we want to cut them down to 1,800. We want to make sure when you've cut down to 1,800 or 1,600 or wherever it is, that your brain does not try to save fuel during your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, because you're uber aware that you've got to go and train and you've got your exercise regime, but it's the rest of the day that your brain is going to work against you. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it, and if you've got any questions, please post them in the comments below, and please let me know what it is that you're struggling with so I can make sure that these videos address your issues. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.